having a blessed Tuesday. So today I'm going to go ahead and do this beautiful, underrated plant. This is Maria. I call her Marie. My Maria Chinese Evergreen. Um, or she's an Aglaonema. Um, this plant, I've had her pretty much the longest. She's been in my care since for a year now. So she's one of my senior plants. I learned about, really, I started watching Dr. Axe on learning about house plants. And the Sansevieria was the first one that I got because I was looking up how do you clean air. I had moved into a small apartment, and it is like a loft, so you're inside, but I do have plenty of windows and stuff. But I still wanted to know, how do I clean the air inside? What's a good way to clean air? And so Dr. Axe has pretty much taught me. I went and watched him, and then I started reading a whole bunch of other stuff. And then it became a whole different thing, which one day I'll get into. But for now, so yeah, I found out about the Chinese Evergreen, which is also one of the top with the Sansevierias and the Dracaenas and, peace lilies and whatnot. This does go with the cleaning of the air. There also, I believe, the Chinese Evergreens were found in, I guess, the China fields or something like that. I can't quite remember the whole story, but I know that they do lower light, so that's why I got her. I got her at Home Depot. She was probably one of my most expensive plants back then. I think she was like $17. Back then, that was expensive for me. I was looking for the cheap plants and pretty little plants. I learned so much over a year about plants, and now I know I like who I like, and so this is the Maria Chinese Evergreen. I did just finally repot her. She's been in her same pot forever. She did have a few yellow leaves. There was two, actually. There's more in here than I realized, but I broke her apart because there was a whole nother huge plant inside this one little pot she was in. And so I went ahead and gave my daughter the other section, and then I kept this one. And she's still a nice, healthy size. And my daughter has a nice six inch healthy size also. Some of their leaves did turn yellow when I repotted. I've learned a lot of plants just don't like to be repotted, and I've messed up a lot of plants recently from doing repotting and messing with stuff. So it's all trial and error for us. But so she did get a few yellow leaves, but they were the bottom ones, and all I could think is they were older leaves. They just wanted to push out because she's pushing out a whole bunch more leaves. So that's a good thing. And I'm sure they get a stalk. I see a lot of older ones, they have this tall stalk, so they do lose a lot of their lower leaves. But for her, I have her in a very well draining soil. She does need to be dried out in between waterings. And I do mist her leaves from time to time just to make sure to keep them dust free, because when I had first got her, I was so scared because if you look on the internet and you watch all these videos, everyone says she's subject to get thrip, spider mites, then to find out all plants get all those things. So it kind of scares you and deters you from getting more, the certain kind of plants, because they're always saying, oh, they get spider mites. Just like the Hindu rope is subject to millibug. Really, they're all subject to that at the end of the day, because pests like plants. So, but yeah, I constantly thought she had thrip. I didn't even know how the bugs looked. I didn't see no bugs, but I'm thinking she had bugs, and I just was constantly, I cut a few of her leaves off. I was messing with her every day. And then I'm learning more and more, but she does get a shower from time to time. I give her, try to give her as much humidity as possible because she does like humidity, but not, exaggerant like the Marantas and Calatheas. But yeah, so this is the Maria Chinese Evergreen. Her leaves, so pretty. This is just a beautiful statement plant. If you can get this one is the most really I think the easiest one out of all the Aglaonemas because you can put her in a dark, not I wouldn't put none of my plants in a real dark corner where there's no light, but she can take lower light. She falls in the place of lower light, especially this one because her leaves are so dark and they're not so, variegated. So yeah, let her dry out in between watering. I give her very well draining soil, or I use the Job's fertilizer sticks pretty much for all of them. I've tried so many different, well, not too so many, but I have tried several different fertilizers, and with I've liked the Job's for slow release fertilizers. It's just something about them, and I flush my plants out once a month or maybe twice a month. And so you're not flushing out all those nutrients when you have slow release, and you can't over fertilize them. But anyhow, that's what I've been using for her slow release fertilizer. She doesn't give you any problems. She don't complain. And like I said, I've put her in all kinds of different places, bright light, lower light. She gets placed all over the place, and she just doesn't give me any problems. Only time I got problems is when I repotted her, and it was just she just wanted, had to push out them lower leaves so the top ones can start growing. So a lot of times, lower yellow leaves can either be from not giving them enough water, or they're just old leaves. And I've been having a lot of old leaves because the more the plants grow, the more they're gonna lose lower leaves. So yeah, so this is her, Maria, Chinese Evergreen, Aglaonema. She's a real pretty one. If you're just starting in plants, she's definitely a good investment. They're not cheap. Aglaonemas are not cheap, but it's a good investment because this plant will last for quite some time, and she's very easy to take care of. No fuss. She likes humidity. Really, all tropical plants like humidity, but she'll do okay. She's not going to lose it and dry up like the Marantas and the Calatheas. She will survive. So, and mist her leaves or give her a shower every now and then just to get all the dust off of her. Make sure she doesn't have dust because you can get spider mites with any plants if there's a bunch of dust on them. And really, if your plants are unhealthy, you're going to get pests, because I was watching something on pests and it was saying like thrips, and really the plants call out for those insects, and 9 out of 10 it's because something's going on with the plant. So the pests come because they sniff out, the SOS that the plant's actually sending out. So spider mites probably come because it's dusty, dirty, and the plant can't photosynthesize, unless it's a fern. It seemed like ferns and palms, spider mites love. But yeah, so don't let that scare you, because I got scared and was about to take her back several times because I was going through Home Depot and Lowe's when I first started getting plants, and I was taking them back because you have up to a year, unless they changed it, but you have up to a year to return them. So if I were you and you are just getting started, it's good to do it that way. Go through Lowe's and Home Depot and see how the plant, how it works in your care. Because you do have up, I believe, to a year for both of those stores. As long as you have your receipt, they allow you up to a year to see how the plant works. And if it doesn't, if it's not going to work out, you can return it. But she survived the year and she got repotted and she's doing good. Like I said, the only time I had a problem was when I repotted her. But a lot of plants, just like my ZZ, has just been tripping out because I repotted her, which I regret now because she's getting a lot of yellow leaves and it's not from overwatering. All I could think is I repotted her and I did put her in a pretty, it's a big size. Well, it's a 7.5 and she was in a 6-inch pot. But anyhow, she's recuperating. I'm just leaving her alone, letting her do her thing. But yeah, a lot of plants don't like to get repotted, but they have to. It's just like our kids. They don't want something, but they need it. So she was squished in the pot she was in, and I put her only in a little bit bigger pot. And then I gave my daughter, like I said, the other portion of the plant. But yeah, so this is her. Just wanted to share her for plant Tuesday plant feature. And she's the Chinese evergreen. She grows really good, low maintenance plant. This is my care, like I always say, my care for Sacramento, California. She does get pretty much a lot of my plants get bright and direct light, but she can take lower level plant light, lower humidity, and low water. So she's the low girl. So yeah, if you get a chance, this is the first Aglaonema I had, and I'd recommend getting her first if if you're starting off in your plant world, or if you have a bunch of plants and you don't have an Aglaonema. This is the one that I would get just to start off with, because she's such a simple, easy plant to take care of. And you're gonna see people saying it's subject to spider mites and thrips, and be careful, watch out for this. All plants get that, so all plants can get it, except I don't know about the sansevierias. But yeah, so this is her. Hope everyone has a blessed week, a blessed Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.